Hello students, welcome in the next lecture of numerical techniques. In previous lecture, we are going to solve the problems on Newton-Raphson's method and Regula-Falsi method. Okay, Regula-Falsi method is also called as the false position method. Okay, so students, now today we are going to see how to find the cube root of number p and how to find the nth root, that is finite nth root of number p by using Newton-Raphson's method. We have to first obtain the formula for obtain the cube root of number p and nth root of number p. Then also we have to see how to find the inverse of the number p. If the p is a given number, then we have to find the inverse of that number by using Newton-Raphson formula or Newton-Raphson method. Okay, so first we see how to find the cube root of number p. Okay, then we see first obtain the cube root of cube root of number p. P be the number. Okay, so we have to obtain the cube root of this number p. Okay, so first we consider let x is equal to cube root of p. Here we consider cube root of number p will be equal to x. That means we have to find the value of x, then which is the cube root of number p. By taking cube on both the sides, we get here x cube is equal to p, and we can write this as in function f of x is equal to x cube minus p is equal to 0. Okay, so then we use Newton-Raphson formula. Then what is the Newton-Raphson formula? Newton-Raphson formula is xn plus 1 is equal to xn minus f of xn divided by f dash of xn. So for this formula we have to find the derivative of this f of x. So first we find derivative of this function. So take it as equation number 1. Then derivative of f of x is from 1 we get f dash of x is equal to 3x square minus derivative of p will be 0 because p is a number. So we get f dash of x is equal to 3x square. Okay, then we put the values of f of x and f dash of x in the given formula. So put f of x and f dash of x in given formula in NR formula, that is Newton-Raphson formula. We get for xn, we get xn plus 1 is equal to xn will be as it is minus here f of xn. We have to put here instead of x the point xn. So we get here xn cube minus p divided by f dash of xn. F dash of x will be this 3x square. Then f dash of xn we get 3xn square. Okay, then we simplify this. By taking cross multiplication, we get here 3 into xn square into this xn will be xn cube minus we multiply this minus sign inside the bracket of this, we get here minus xn cube minus minus becomes plus p divided by 3 xn square, okay, is equal to, we get 3 xn cube minus xn cube will be 2 xn cube plus p divided by 3 xn square is equal to xn plus 1. So this is the formula for finding the cube root of number p. If we have to given any number p, then by using this formula, that is the NR formula or Newton-Raphson's formula, by using that formula we can easily find the cube root of any number p. Okay. So students, first we see one example on it. So we take example number 1. Find cube root of number 20 using Newton-Raphson's formula. Okay. So here we have to given the number, that is 20. That means we have to given p is equal to 20 and we have to find the cube root of 20. To find cube root of 20, by using this formula we can find. So we take x is equal to cube root of 20, that is x with the cube root of number 20. If we find value of x, then we have to get the, that is cube root of number 20. Okay, then from that we get here x cube is equal to 20, that is we get the function f of x is equal to x cube minus 20. Here we have to know the formula, therefore we have not necessary to find these steps, but here we find the function only, f of x is equal to x cube minus 20, not necessary to find the derivative of that function because we have formula. So we can find cube root of 20 by using formula, that is Newton-Raphson formula for finding cube root of number p. We know that the formula will be xn plus 1 is equal to 2 xn cube plus p divided by 3 xn square. This is the formula to find the cube root of number p. Okay, so if we take here n is equal to 0 and this formula is implemented for n is equal to 0, 1, 2 up to so on. Okay, then here we take for n is equal to 0, we get x1 is equal to 2 x1 cube plus p divided by 3 x1 square. Okay, take it as equation number 1. So for that formula, we know that we have to first find the initial approximation, or we have to consider first the initial root, first initial approximate root. So we find First, initial approximate root For that, we consider the two nearest cube of the number 20. So, we consider here two nearest cube of number 20 are 8 and 27. That is, we can write 8 less than 20 less than 27. This cube is between these two nearest cube 8 and 27. If we take cube root, we get taking cube root of this inequality, we get cube root of 8 less than cube root of 20 less than cube root of 27. Then cube root of 8 will be 2, we know that, less than cube root of 20 less than cube root of 27 is 3. So, we have to get the interval, that is this interval 2, 3 where cube root of 20 is lies. That means we have to get the interval 2, 3 in which cube root of 20 is lies. So, we take initial approximate root or initial approximation is x0, and we take x0 is equal to here 2.5. We take x0 is equal to 2.5. Here we can take x0 is equal to 2 also, but here we take x0 is equal to 2.5 for reducing the number of iterations. Because if we find the cube root of 20 in calci, then we have to get easily that cube root. But here we have to use the Newton-Raphson formula, that is we have to use iterations to find the cube root of number p. So we take the nearest number in cube root of 20, that is we consider here x0 is equal to 2.5. So number of iterations get reduced, that is number of approximations get reduced in calculation. So x0 is equal to, we take in formula, if we put here n is equal to 0, we get x1 is equal to 2x0 cube plus p divided by 3x0 square. Here we can write 1, that is not 1, which is the 0. So we put x0 is equal to 2.5 in equation number 1. We get x1 is equal to 2, x0 will be 2.5, that is 2.5 cube plus p that is number 20, that is plus 20 divided by 3, 2.5 square. Okay, then after this calculation we get the value of x1, that is approximate root, is equal to 2.7333. we take here up answer 4 decimal places. Okay, then we get the next approximate root. Okay, so then we find next approximation because here x0 will be 2.5 and x1 will be get this. Then next approximation, so we get next approximation that is approximate root will be x2 equal to 2 x1 square plus p divided by 3 x1 square. 2x1 cube plus p divided by 3x1 square. Okay, then we put here x1, value of x1, that is 2 in bracket 2.7333 cube plus p, that is 20 divided by 3 in bracket 2.7333 square. Then again after this calculation we get the value of x2 will be equal to 2.7145. This is the value of x2, 2.7145. Okay. Then again if we observe these two successive approximations, that is x1 and x2, here we have to get the only one decimal, after decimal digit will be same, so we find the next approximation. Then next approximation is x3 is equal to 2 x2 cube plus p divided by 3 x2 square. Then we put here value of x2, that is 2 in bracket 2.7145 cube plus 20 divided by 3 in bracket 2.7145 square. Then again simplifying, or by it is equal to 2.7144. x3 is equal to 2.7144. Then see here, if we observe students, the approximate root x2 and x3, these two successive approximate roots are same up to, or are correct up to 3 decimal places. Therefore we stop the procedure to finding the cube root of number 20. Okay, or to finding the next iterations. Here x2 and x3, these approximate roots, these approximate roots are correct up to 3 decimal places, therefore we stop the procedure. And this implies that therefore we consider x is equal to 2.714 is the cube root of number 20, that is cube root of 20 is equal to, we get 2.714 up to 3 decimal places. Okay, so in this way we can find the cube root of any number p. Okay, then we see the next, that is to obtain then next we see to obtain nth root of number p. Okay, obtain nth root of number p, and without any finite number. So if we consider, let x is equal to nth root of number p. Here again we take x be the nth root of number p. Then by taking nth power on both sides, we get xn is equal to p. Then we get the function f of x is equal to x raised to n minus p is equal to 0. First we find its derivative, then we get f dash of x is equal to n x raised to n minus 1 minus derivative of p will be 0, that is minus 0 is equal to, we get n x raised to n minus 1. This is the derivative of f dash of x. Then we use the NR formula, that is Newton-Raphson formula, for finding the formula of nth root of number p. Then by using NR formula is xn plus 1 is equal to xn minus f of xn divided by f dash of xn. Okay, so we put here values. We get xn minus f of x will be this function. For xn we get xn raised to n minus p divided by n, derivative of that will be n x n raised to n minus 1. Okay, then by taking cross multiplication we get here this n in xn into xn raised n xn into xn raised to n minus 1 minus this xn raised to n, minus minus becomes plus p divided by n xn raised to n minus 1. Okay, we get xn plus 1 is equal to this, is equal to this n minus 1 plus 1, that is we take here, we use the rules of indices and taking addition of this we get n minus 1 plus 1, that is we get here xn raised to n minus xn raised to n plus p divided by n xn raised to n minus 1 is equal to, here we take xn raised to n outside, then we get n minus 1 xn raised to n plus p divided by n xn raised to n minus 1 equal to xn plus 1. Okay, then this is the formula, we get this is the formula for finding the nth root of number p. Here we can change this n, stating this n and this suffix n. So we write this formula as xi plus 1 is equal to n minus 1 xi raised to n plus p divided by n into xi raised to n minus 1. So we consider this formula for differentiating the suffix n and the number n. We get formula is xi plus 1 is equal to n minus 1 xi raised to n plus p divided by n xi raised to n minus 1 for I is equal to 0, 1, 2 up to so on. Okay, then in this way we can use this formula to obtain any nth root of number. Okay, so next to find the inverse of number p by using Newton-Raphson method. Okay, then to find inverse of number p, that is to find 1 by p if p is given. Here again we take 1 by p, or we take here p inverse is equal to x, that is we consider x be the inverse of number p. Let p inverse is equal to, we consider x, that is p inverse be the inverse, that is we consider x be the inverse of number p. So we can write it as 1 by p is equal to x. That is, we can write it as 1 by x is equal to p, and we write the function, we get f of x is equal to 1 by x minus p is equal to 0. Okay. Then we find its derivative. We get f dash of x is equal to derivative of 1 by x will be minus 1 by x square, and derivative of p will be 0. P is a number. So we get is equal to minus 1 by x square f dash of x. Then we use Newton-Raphson's formula. Newton-Raphson formula is xn plus 1 is equal to xn minus f of xn divided by f dash of xn. Okay, so put this value here, we get the formula. Xn plus 1 is equal to xn as it is minus f of xn. Here f of x will be this, then f of xn will be 1 divided by xn minus p in bracket divided by f dash of x will be minus 1 by x square. Then f dash of xn we get minus 1 by xn square. Okay, then we simplify this, we get xn minus minus becomes plus. Okay, here we take cross multiplication, we get 1 minus p into xn divided by this xn, and then we write this as into xn square, because this xn square is in denominator of this denominator, therefore this multiply into this 1 minus pxn is equal to, we get xn plus this 1 xn gets cancelled, we get here 1 minus pxn into this 1 xn is equal to xn plus, we multiply this xn inside bracket, we get xn minus p, xn into xn will be into xn square. Then here xn plus 1, that is we get xn plus 1 is equal to, this will be xn plus xn to xn minus p xn square. Again we take here xn outside, we get xn in bracket 2 minus p xn for xn plus 1. So we get, this is the formula for n is equal to again 0, 1, 2 up to so on. So we get this formula for finding the inverse of any number p. That is, if we have to given any number p, then we can find its inverse by using this formula. Okay, so we see example. Find E inverse. For that, take E is equal to 2.71 and initial approximation x0 is equal to 0.3. Okay, here we have to find the inverse of number E. To find E inverse, that is inverse of the number E. So, P is equal to E. P is equal to E, because we have to find the inverse of this number E. Then we have to also given that x0, that is initial approximation will be 0.3, and we have to consider the value of E, that is 2.71, that is we have to consider the value of E up to 2 decimal places. Okay, then we use this formula to find the inverse of number E. Then by using NR formula for finding inverse of number P. For finding inverse of number P is xn plus 1 is equal to xn in bracket 2 minus P into xn. Okay. For n is equal to 0, 1, 2 up to so on. Then for n is equal to 0, the formula becomes x1 is equal to x0 in bracket 2 minus p into x0, which is equal to, here we have to give one, x0 will be 0.3 in bracket 2 minus p, that is number e, p minus e into 0.3. Then we put the value of e here, that is 2 minus e, we have to consider 2.71 into 0.3, and again after this calculation we get x1 is equal to 0.3561. Okay, then we find the next approximation, that is for n is equal to 1, formula becomes x2 is equal to x1 in bracket 2 minus p into x1 is equal to, x1 will be, we get here 0.3561 in bracket 2 minus p, that is e, and e will be 2.71 into 0.3561. Okay, so we get x2, after calculation we get 0.36854. Here if we observe x1, then value of x1 will be 0.3561 and value of x2 will be 0.36854. If we round up this number up to 3 decimal places, here if we observe fourth digit is 5, that is exactly 5, and third digit is 8, that is even. So if we round up this number up to 3 decimal places, this 8 will be as it is because it is even. So if we if we round up this number, we get 0.368 up to 3. Then if we observe these two approximations, then these two approximations are correct up to only 1 decimal place. Therefore we can find the next approximation. Then for n is equal to 2, we get the next approximation, that is x3 is equal to x2 in bracket 2 minus p into x2. Then we put values here, x2 will be 0.36854 in bracket 2 minus p, that is e will be 2.71 into x2, 0.36854. Again after this calculation we get x3 will be equal to 0.36860. Again if we round up this number up to 3 decimal places, then we get here fourth digit after decimal place is 6, that is greater than 5. Therefore the third digit can be increased by 1 and this number becomes rounding off to 0.369. Okay, then if we observe, we have to get these two approximations are correct up to 2 decimal places. Therefore we find the next approximation, because we have to find or we have to consider these successive approximations are correct up to 3 decimal places. So for n is equal to 3, we get the next approximation, that is x4 is equal to x3 in bracket 2 minus p x3. Okay, x3 put here will be this 0.36860 in bracket 2 minus p will be e, that is 2.71 into 0.36860. Okay, again after this calculation we get the answer, that is x4 is 0.36909. 0. x4 is equal to this. So if we observe this rounding of value of x3 and x4, these two values are correct up to 3 decimal places. Here x3 and x4 are correct up to 3 decimal places. So we stop the procedure. So we stop the procedure and we consider x4, that is 0.369 will be the inverse of the given number e. So e inverse is equal to, we consider 0.369, that is the approximate inverse of number e by using NR method is 0.369. We can check your answer by using calci. In this way we can find the inverse of any number p by using NR method. Okay students, then in this chapter the last topic is we have to see, that is the order or the rate of convergence of the methods, that is regular falsi method and Newton-Raphson method. So first we see the definition of order of convergence or the rate of convergence. Order of convergence. Order of convergence. Okay, so we see the definition. The order of convergence of the order of convergence of an iterative method is said to be kth order convergent, is said to be kth order convergent if k is a largest positive, if k is a largest positive real number such that limit I tends to infinity mod of ei plus 1 divided by ei raised to k less than or equal to a. Okay, so here a is a non-zero finite number. We say it as the asymptotic error constant, and ei and ei plus 1 are successive approximations in iterative method. That is, if we consider the ratio of two successive approximation that and their mod, and if we take the limit at I tends to infinity, then if we have to get that limit will be less than or equal to some finite non-zero number, then the power of this ei will be the order of convergence or the rate of convergence of the given iterative method. Order of convergence of regular falsi method is 618 and Newton-Raphson method is 2. So we have to ask question in exam this topic, that is we have to ask the order of convergence of either regular Falsy method or either Newton-Raphson method for 1 mark. So regular Falsy method rate of convergence is 618 and for Newton-Raphson method is 2. Okay, then we see the one example. We see the example in successive iterations. In successive iterations, the error reduces to 1 by 2 of the error reduces to 1 by 2 of the previous iteration then to find the order of convergence of that method. Here we have to given that in successive iterations the error reduces to 1 by 2 of the previous iteration. Error can be reduced by 1 by 2 of the previous iteration. Then we have to find the order or the rate of convergence of that method. That is, we have to given here, suppose we consider EI and EI plus 1 be two successive approximations, that is successive errors. Then we have to given that here EI plus 1 is equal to 1 by 2 EI, because the error reduces to 1 by 2 of the previous iteration. Here we consider EI be the previous iteration and EI plus 1 be the next iteration, that is in EI plus 1 error reduces by 1 by 2. So EI plus 1 is equal to, we get take 1 by 2 into EI. Then we consider limit by using definition I tends to infinity mod of EI plus 1 divided by EI is equal to, we get limit I tends to infinity mod of EI plus 1 will be 1 by 2 EI divided by divided by 1 by 2 EI divided by EI is equal to, we get limit I tends to infinity, EI gets cancelled and mod of 1 by 2 will be 1 by 2. Then we get here is equal to 1 by 2 is equal to, we get 1 by 2, that is with the number A. We get this is the non-zero finite number. Okay, so by using this definition, this condition can be hold for this example, can be hold this condition good for k is equal to, here EI power of EI will be 1, that is this condition can be hold good for k is equal to 1. So order of convergence of this iterative method is 1, or we say it as the linearly convergent method. And if the order of convergent of the iterative method is 2, then we say that that method is quadratic convergent. Here order of convergence of Newton-Raphson method is 2, so we say that the Newton-Raphson method is quadratic convergent. Okay, so thank you.